Did you know that a single mineral is responsible for keeping your heart beating in rhythm, your nerves calm, and over 300 other vital functions in your body running smoothly? It's called magnesium, and despite its importance, nearly 80% of us are living in a state of deficiency without even realizing it. But here is the part that many health gurus won't tell you: while this mineral is a miracle worker for some, taking it the wrong way, or taking it when your body isn't ready, can lead to a medical emergency. After years of analyzing clinical data and observing how people supplement in the real world, I've seen a troubling pattern. Many folks, especially those of us in our golden years, are making preventable mistakes. They are either choosing the wrong form, mixing it with the wrong medications, or taking it when their organs simply can't process it. These aren't just minor errors, they can lead to serious heart complications, respiratory distress, and kidney damage. Today, we are going to clear the air. I'm going to walk you through the essential guide to magnesium, how to spot a deficiency, who should stay far away from supplements, and the exact protocol to follow if you want to improve your health safely. By the time we're done, you'll have a professional-grade understanding of how to manage this mineral. Is your body crying out for help? Before you even think about buying a bottle of supplements, you have to ask, do you actually need it? Your body is incredibly vocal if you know how to listen. The most common SOS signal comes from your muscles. Have you ever been sound asleep, only to be jolted awake by a Charlie horse in your calf that feels like a hot iron? Or perhaps you've noticed your eyelid twitching uncontrollably while you're trying to read? These aren't just signs of aging. Magnesium acts as the off switch for your nervous system. Imagine your nerves are like live electrical wires. Magnesium is the insulation that keeps them from sparking. When you run low, your nerves become hyperirritable, staying in an on position. This manifests as cramps, restless legs, or a strange pins and needles sensation in your fingertips. Beyond the twitching, pay attention to your physical strength. If you find that climbing stairs feels harder or your grip isn't what it used to be, it might be because your muscles lack the magnesium required to convert food into cellular energy. But the symptoms aren't just physical, they are emotional. There is a stress trap that many seniors fall into. When you feel anxious or stressed, your body enters fight or flight mode. To fuel this state, your body burns through magnesium at an accelerated rate. To make matters worse, stress hormones like cortisol signal your kidneys to flush magnesium out of your system through your urine. So, stress deletes your magnesium, and low magnesium makes you more susceptible to stress. It's a downward spiral that can leave you feeling irritable, overwhelmed, and unable to shut your brain off at night. Why seniors are at the highest risk? If you are over the age of 60, the deck is unfortunately stacked against you when it comes to this mineral. As we age, our biology changes in two specific ways that impact magnesium. First, our internal chemistry lab, the stomach, starts producing less acid. Magnesium needs acid to dissolve so it can be absorbed. Second, the lining of our intestines becomes less efficient at moving nutrients into the bloodstream. You could be eating the perfect diet, but if your gut isn't catching the mineral, it's just passing right through you. Furthermore, many of us deal with digestive hiccups like acid reflux or IBS. If you are taking purple pills or other acid blockers for heartburn, you are essentially turning off the very mechanism required to absorb magnesium. It's a classic catch-22. We also have to look at common medications. If you're on a water pill or diuretic for your blood pressure, remember that these drugs don't just remove water, they flush out electrolytes. Your magnesium levels can plummet simply because your medication is doing its job too well. The same applies to those managing type 2 diabetes. When blood sugar is high, the kidneys work overtime to filter out excess glucose, and magnesium gets caught in that crossfire, leaving you depleted. This is particularly dangerous because magnesium is actually required for insulin to work. Without it, your blood sugar becomes even harder to control. The hidden truth about our food. You might wonder, can I just get this from my diet? 50 years ago, the answer would have been a resounding yes. However, modern industrial farming has changed the landscape. Our soil is being overworked, and the magnesium content in the earth has been severely depleted. This means a spinach leaf today has significantly less nutritional value than a spinach leaf your parents ate in the 1970s. Unless your plate is constantly filled with pumpkin seeds, Swiss chard, almonds, and black beans, you are likely missing the mark. For the average healthy adult, a supplemental dose of 100 to 200 milligrams is a safe way to bridge this gap. However, you should never exceed 350 milligrams from supplements unless a doctor is monitoring your blood work. When you go to the store, don't just grab the cheapest bottle. Most bargain brands use magnesium oxide. This is basically a laxative. It has a 4% absorption rate, meaning 96% of it stays in your gut and causes diarrhea. Instead, look for magnesium glycinate for sleep and anxiety, or magnesium malate for energy and muscle pain. These are chelated forms, meaning they are bound to amino acids that your body recognizes and welcomes. When magnesium becomes a threat. Now, we must discuss the red zones. There are certain people who should never touch a magnesium supplement without a direct order from a physician. Group 1, the kidney connection. Your kidneys are the bouncers of your bloodstream. They decide how much magnesium stays and how much goes. If your kidney function is even slightly impaired, which is common as we age, that magnesium can't escape. It builds up in your blood, leading to a dangerous state called hypermagnesemia. Consider the story of a woman named Margaret. At 72, she had stage 2 kidney disease, something her doctor told her was mild. She started taking magnesium to help with her digestion. Within a week, she wasn't just regular, she was profoundly weak. She felt nauseous and could barely keep her head up. She thought it was a stomach flu. By the time she reached the hospital, her magnesium levels were so high they were beginning to interfere with her breathing. Her kidneys simply couldn't keep up with the supplement. If you have any history of kidney issues, do not self-medicate with this mineral. Group 2, the blood pressure drop. Because magnesium relaxes the walls of your blood vessels, it naturally lowers blood pressure. For someone with hypertension, this is a blessing. But for someone like Robert, a 69-year-old whose blood pressure sat at a steady 105/70, it was a disaster. Robert took magnesium for leg cramps and, by day 3, he fainted in his kitchen. His blood pressure had bottomed out to 80/50. If you already have low blood pressure, adding magnesium can be like taking a sledgehammer to a thumbtack. Group 3, heart rhythm disorders. This is perhaps the most critical warning. If you have a slow heart rate, bradycardia, or a heart block, magnesium can be deadly. It slows down the electrical signals that tell your heart to beat. We saw this with Frank, a 75-year-old with a naturally slow pulse. He wanted better sleep, so he started a high-dose magnesium regimen. Within days, his heart rate dropped into the 40s. He felt like he was walking through wet cement. Magnesium was essentially overquieting his heart's electrical system. The medication minefield. Magnesium is a social mineral, it loves to bind to things. If you are taking antibiotics, specifically tetracyclines or Cipro, magnesium will latch onto the medicine in your stomach and prevent it from ever reaching your blood. Take Linda's case. She was treating a stubborn infection but continued her morning magnesium routine. Because the magnesium kidnapped the antibiotic in her gut, the infection didn't budge. She ended up needing a much stronger, more invasive treatment, all because of a simple supplement interaction. Always wait at least 2 to 4 hours between taking magnesium and any other prescription. The stakes are even higher for heart medications like digoxin. Magnesium can make the levels of these drugs fluctuate wildly. One day the drug is too weak, the next, it's at toxic levels. If you are on any maintenance medication for your heart or lungs, your pharmacist must be your best friend before you start a new supplement. The rules for safe success. If you've cleared it with your doctor and you're ready to start, there are 5 rules you must follow to ensure you're actually getting the benefits. Rule 1, the vitamin D balance. You might be taking vitamin D for your bones. That's great! But did you know that vitamin D requires magnesium to be converted into its active form? However, if you take massive megadoses of vitamin D, over 4,000 IUs, your body will use up all its magnesium stores just to process the vitamin D. You must balance the two. If you increase one, you often need to support the other. Rule 2, don't trust the blood test alone. Standard blood tests for magnesium are notoriously unreliable. Why? Because 99% of your magnesium is stored in your bones and soft tissue. Only 1% is in your blood. Your body will literally rob your bones to keep that 1% in the blood stable. You could have a normal blood test while your cells are starving for the mineral. Judge your needs based on your symptoms and your doctor's advice, not just a lab slip. Rule 3, the calcium ratio. Calcium and magnesium are like a seesaw. Calcium contracts muscles, magnesium relaxes them. If you take a heavy calcium supplement for osteoporosis but no magnesium, you can end up with calcification, where calcium deposits in your arteries or kidneys instead of your bones. Aim for a 2-to-1 ratio of calcium to magnesium to keep the balance. Rule 4, watch the leaking factors. Coffee and wine are both magnesium thieves. They act as diuretics that signal the kidneys to dump minerals. If you enjoy a morning latte or an evening glass of red, you need to be more diligent about your magnesium intake, as your leakage is higher than the average person. Rule 5, never take it on an empty stomach. Unless you enjoy stomach cramps, always take your magnesium with a meal. Specifically, take it with a meal that contains a little bit of healthy fat, like avocado or olive oil. This slows down the transit time in your gut, giving your body more time to absorb the mineral and preventing the emergency run to the bathroom. The Safe Start Protocol. If you're ready to begin, start low and slow. I recommend starting with just 100 milligrams of magnesium glycinate taken with your evening meal. This allows the calming effect to help you sleep while the food protects your stomach. Stay at that dose for a full week. Listen to your body. Do the cramps go away? Is your sleep deeper? If you feel good, you can add a second 100 milligrams dose with breakfast. Splitting the dose is the secret to high absorption. Your body can only process so much at once, so trickle feeding it throughout the day is much more effective than one giant pill. Remember, no pill can replace a foundation of real food and managed stress. Magnesium is a powerful tool, but it is only one piece of the puzzle in maintaining your health and independence as you age. When used with respect and clinical guidance, it can truly change your quality of life. Be smart with your choices, stay informed, and always prioritize the unique needs of your body. Your health is your most valuable asset, and protecting it starts with understanding the science behind the supplements you choose to take every day. This approach ensures you get all the benefits of the master mineral without any of the hidden dangers.